Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brian Weber with an update on our morning analysis report that was posted this morning. So, just looking at the euro dollar from where we left off the video this morning, we had a couple of ideas that we could have looked to trade this morning based on the analysis. I'm just going to squeeze all of this data into the chart. Now, if you guys can remember, we had a couple of different scenarios, okay? So our two significant areas on the chart today was this 132.40 up to the 132.51 level. And also we had the significant area down here with the central pivot and a 200 per moving average. Now, just to quickly run through the different types of setups, I made the video when we were trading roughly about here this morning. Somewhere in this region where we were actually trading. And the analysis that I gave this morning was if we saw a breakup above the 132.51 level and then came back to hold as support within the zone here, we could then look to try and get long in the market if we got the appropriate buy signal and the old resistance held as support. Now you guys can see here that we did get the break above, but there was no support being held here. Price just came all the way back down, refused to hold the old resistance as support, and just gave basically a complete sell-off in the market down the central pivot. Okay, so there was no buying opportunity at that level, again, because we never had that support hold there. So break above the old resistance, we get the pullback as well, but no support and no buy signal. If you look here, when we're seeing the old resistance failing to hold as support, we could look down at that stochastic, and that stochastic was red the whole way. Never once did that stochastic turn at any point here to confirm any support holds or anything. Okay, no divergence, absolutely nothing. So we just got a complete sell-off. Now, the other scenarios were that we could look to trade the central pivot on both sides. We had potential sell signals and potential buy signals on the central pivot today, along with the 200 pure moving average, which is this red moving average. And again, if you guys go back to the morning analysis video, I mentioned that if we saw a dip down to the central pivot, we could look to get long, or if we saw a break below the central pivot and it held as resistance, we could look to get short as long as we had the buy and sell signals. So what did we actually see when price came down the central pivot? Well, first of all, we could see that price did break below the central pivot, okay? And that's not a big deal. Support and resistance can be broke by a few pips. They're not going to accurately hold price to the very last pip. So we had the central pivot break here, as well as a 200 per moving average. But again, let's look down at our stochastic as this happens. Okay, stochastic is now just trended down without turning at any point here. We just see this red line on the sell-off here for price in the stochastic, and it now is in the oversold region at this point here, as we're at the support point of the central pivot. Okay, but that's not enough information, because basically what could have happened there was we got a boost up, and price then continues to move down again. So just a little pullback in the market to ease the stochastic before to get another down leg. But when we continue to look at price at the actual current support, which was the central pivot, we can see the price and printed a hammer here, okay, little rejection candle. Then it came up, came back down, rejected off of that same level. It came up again and came down for a third time, a third attempt at that level there. So if we just draw a little line here, we can see that there was one attempt, two attempts, and three attempts, all within this little level just below the central pivot. Now, again, looking down at our stochastic, because price isn't really telling us all that much apart from us finding some support. But is that support going to hold, or is it going to give way? Well, the actual stochastic is going to give us a lot of information here, because we're finding support here, and at the point where we're finding support with three attempts from price just at the central pivot, we've got that stochastic starting to trend up. Okay, so stochastic puts in its low here, then it puts in a higher low, and then it puts in a higher low. So there's two higher lows here. You've got the stochastic trending up, price is just moving to the side. So this is what's called bullish divergence right here. Okay, and this is pretty much confirming that this support point is going to hold, and this again was one of our scenarios for this morning. where if we saw a dip down the central pivot, we could look for buying opportunities and appropriate buy signals to get long. And again, on the morning analysis video, we were going to target that resistance point. So if you get a dip down of the central pivot, we look for a buy signal. We trade it up towards this 132.40, 132.51. And you guys can see here the price has done that. So we got the buy signal here from divergence on the stochastic as price finds support. We get the move up. Price hits its target at 132.40, 132.51. And again, on the morning report, I said we should cover longs, any longs if we reached our target here, and just stand back from the market to see what happens. Okay, the other scenario that we were looking for was a potential sell at the central pivot. So again, if I just draw this in, if we did see the breakout of the central pivot, which we did get, and also if we got a pullback, which we did get, but there was no appropriate sell signal to get short in the market. If you look down at the stochastic here, what was the stochastic doing? It was just trending up. Again, we can just see it's all blue here. And the stochastic hasn't turned red at any point here after the initial divergence play here. Okay, so 3 higher lows, and the stochastic just remains blue the whole time. As price is consolidating here. So the bullish divergence and the strong trending stochastic here that is all blue, it's just confirming that there's no sell signal here to go short on the euro dollar. Okay, so the only scenario here is to go long on the euro dollar and trade it back out to the 132.40, 132.51 level. Okay guys, so if you guys missed the morning report this morning, I advise you to go back and watch that. Just to see the different setups I was pinpointing this morning. You may pick up some useful tips or ideas or so on for your own trading. But just looking at the euro dollar now, it's pretty much just a consolidation. There's another thing I want to point out about this support point, and it's on the 1 hour chart. So we're just bringing the 1 hour chart into view here. Okay, we take a Fibonacci of the current swing low to swing high. Okay, so swing low to swing high. We can see that that move, it went underneath the central pivot, was right at that 61% retracement level. 3 rejection candles in a row here if I just zoom in. Okay, so we can see the rejection candles here just spiking that 61% retracement level on the euro dollar. And again, if I just move my 1 hour chart, we'll see the Fibonacci on the 50-minute chart. Okay, and there's those rejection candles right there. Okay, so broke the central pivot, but the 61% retracement level was holding price here at the same time as we're getting that bullish divergence on the stochastic. So that's one of the kind of things that we're actually looking for intraday to confirm the analysis. Every time I give morning analysis reports, I usually give 2 or 3 different levels that we can look for buy opportunities and sell opportunities in the market. And really, when we reach one of those levels, we're looking to establish if that level is actually going to provide the buy signal or sell signal. And this is the kind of things that we're actually looking for to confirm the analysis. Okay, so we've always got our analysis and we always got our support and resistance points, but how do we actually trade them and find the buy signals? Again, that's just one of the ways that we actually do it, is just using the stochastic along with some price action support and resistance techniques. Well, I'll be making some more trading videos that will actually go into a lot of detail on actually how to trade the analysis, as well as some ways of trading methods that you can use in order to confirm the analysis as well. But anyway guys, have a good day if you're going to continue to trade. We only got the one opportunity on the euro dollar today, which was the buy of the central pivot. So have a good day and I'll catch you tomorrow.